So I'm going to demonstrate it for you right now. I'm going to add a little bit of brow because my kids are home and we're just going to head outside here afterwards. So I'm going to do just the basics. So a little brow is kind of necessary. So I'm just using my contour color here and I'm going to add some color into my brow. And then I'm going to explain to you how to get a color match selfie. So there's a couple ways you can get this stuff. You can take a picture of yourself, a color match selfie. Look a little warmer, a little more defined. Look out a front door or window. No lights on overhead or behind you because they'll make you look more yellow. Snap a selfie, show some neck. Check it out. Make sure it looks pretty true to your skin tone. Send it to me and I can get you matched. Another way to get it is to make an account under the link and go to collections. Select a collection. There's 3 to choose from. There's a basic bundle around 111, and then there's somewhere in the middle, and then there's like an all-in. And then there's a little tab to select your shade. So scroll through those women, select the shade that looks most like you, and add to bag. So it's literally that simple to get it in your hands. And I am a nurse, not a makeup artist. I just found this stuff after I'd given up on makeup and knew other women needed to hear about it. So I just added some of my contour into my brows because I'm going for a barely there, the basics look, okay? So just my contour. So when you get matched, after you send me your color match selfie, you get matched to 3 colors. A contour color that's gonna accentuate the shadows of your face. You kind of see a shadow there. In the nook of my nose, you definitely see one in that jawline to chisel it out. So I'm going to tell you exactly where to put the contour. And then there's a brightening highlight that we put in the center of our face to bring light to our eyes and brightness to the center of our face. Take care of some of this biz. And then the main highlight we put on the lower half of the face and it just kind of all blends together. This is cream makeup. It only has 11 ingredients. It's skin healthy makeup made for the mature woman, which is anybody over the age of 35, dermatologists say. So those are the 3 colors you get matched to. We're going to emphasize the dimension in our face instead of paint it flat like a wall. So I'm going to get started. I'm just going to show you the ease of this and how it works. If you're just going to get one brush, the 3D foundation brush is the one to get, and that's the one I'm going to use today. So I'm just bopping into that contour color. And I'm going to go up and under my cheekbone. If you're like, I don't know if I have a cheekbone, you do. But sometimes it's hard to figure out where to put it. So you can always go off your landmarks, top of ear to outer corner of eye. And I'm going to do that on both sides of my face here. It does not have to be perfect. Cream is forgiving. But we're going to give our face structure and bring the beauty out of our own bone structure. So right up and under the cheek on both sides, our contour has coverage too, which is glorious. And then I'm just gonna kind of go temple to temple along the hairline to accentuate the roundness of our head. And also, if you have a longer forehead like myself, it'll make it appear just a little bit shorter just by adding a little shadowing right along that hairline. Now, I don't dip into my temples because I'm hollowing there a little bit. So I just go right above my temple, right along my hairline. Okay, now we're gonna do the nose. So I kind of follow my eyebrow line down the nose and I'm squeezing the bristles together because this is gonna narrow my nose. You see what it's doing already. And I am not a makeup artist. So I feel like if I can do this, you can do this. Okay, so just kind of following that eyebrow line down the side of your nose, and the closer those lines are, the more narrow your nose will appear. I always kind of cut it off right at the tip. I saw this new thing on TikTok. You kind of smush your nose up, and that's where you kind of put the contour for that little button nose to not make it look so long. Interesting, right? Now I'm gonna put a little bit on that lower lip for some added pucker. This just shadows that lip to give it more pucker, the lower lip. Just a little tiny bit. And then the last part of our contour. We're going up and under that jawline You don't want to bring it up on the face too much, but it really chisels your jaw. And if you have any like jowl issues, this is just wonderful because it puts a nice shadow on it. So it kind of just minimizes them. So just up and under that jawline, and then I always brush this one back right away so I don't forget about it. So that's contour. We contoured. Anybody can do it. Now I'm going into the brightening highlight, the lightest color of the 3D foundation. I know it seems like more, but you're gonna love the finish, and it's one layer. Every part of our 3D foundation has its spot, so it's gonna feel like air, like skin, like makeup. So we're brightening in between the brows, and then I kind of go, I wanna follow those lines that I made. But you see, I'm not perfect, and that's just fine because cream's forgiving. So we're just kind of brightening that center of the nose, and then I do the tip a little bit, and then I hit this Cupid's bow. I'm super blue here, so I kind of go crazy. I love this cream makeup, heavily pigmented, very little water, so you need a tiny, tiny bit to get some coverage. If you don't have a crazy blue lip like me, just dot kind of right there with your brightening highlight. And then we dot on our chin. What we're doing is brightening the triangle of light, which actually starts at your brows, and the bottom of the triangle is at your chin. So we want to brighten that triangle of light and bring it forward. Okay, inner corner of the eye where I have quite a bit of darkness, some scarring, some melasma. And you saw I used the tiniest amount of cream. The number one mistake people make is using too much with this, then you're not gonna like how it feels. But you just need a tiny amount to get some coverage, some light and bright, and some dimension. So I did just a tiny bit in that inner corner, and then I always go under that lash line on the outer corner and up, because we're just gonna lift the eye. Look at that. It's all about lifting the face with a little bit of dimension. So same thing over here, a little bit on this corner, inner corner. Oops, went right in the eyeball there. That's okay. Clean ingredients. I don't have to worry too much. And then we're gonna go outer corner and up. Follow that lower lash line up because we wanna lift everything up, right? And you see I got more here and not as much there. It's not a big deal. We're gonna blend this out in the end, so don't worry one bit. Okay, we're done with the brightening highlight. You see what we're doing. We're kind of just sculpting the face with our 3D foundation, one layer makeup. It has no water, so it's extra pigmented, so we need next to nothing. And your natural skin luminosity, which no makeup can create, actually kind of shines through this stuff. So I'm gonna go with my main highlight, the one that looks most like my skin tone, and I'm just gonna dab in because a little goes a long way when there's no water. Kind of what's wrong with traditional makeup is it's 75% water, so it evaporates off your skin, accentuating crepiness, fine lines, and wrinkles. And it actually oxidizes with that water in it. Water is a chemical, and changes color. So just liquid is not okay. And usually powders aren't finely milled enough to not migrate into the fine lines and wrinkles. So I'm telling you, cream is where it's at. So I'm done. I just put that main highlight. I kind of bopped it on the lower half of the face where you would grow a beard, which I do have quite a few hairs there. And you can put it anywhere else you want a little extra coverage, but there's no need to cover every part of your face because it's gonna blend out beautifully in the end. So I like to blend light to dark, but it really doesn't matter. This is all made by Saint. So it's cohesive makeup. You don't have to worry, you know, when you're getting all those different brands, if they're gonna work together, or if you're gonna have some pilling or, you know, some kind of reaction. This is all made out of the same simple, natural ingredients. It's paraben-free, it's gluten-free. 60% of what you put on your skin actually is absorbed into your bloodstream. I never really thought about safety of products until I had children, And then I only thought about it for them. But now I'm like, man, I should probably be thinking about that for me too. So I'm just kind of blending light to dark. I don't eliminate this line completely because I like how it lifts the eye. But now we're gonna attack the dark. So I kind of push this contour back into the hairline, just accentuating that roundness of our head. And then I kind of buff out these nose lines so they're not so prominent. Okay, and we still have the narrowing, okay? And then this is probably one of my favorite parts, flicking up and back with that cheekbone contour to lift the face. This is kind of the only rule with Saint. There are no rules with makeup, but you don't want to drag this one down or do big circles because it's going to drag your face down. We want to lift. So just always flick that cheekbone contour up and back for a nice lifted cheek face. Voila, we have coverage, a little bright, a little glow, a little dimension. And once you get the hang of it and you figure out how much you like, it takes you 5 minutes or less. I can do my makeup in 2 minutes. Let's add a little lip cheek. I'll do Cindy. She's a very cute summer shade, but all of our lips double as cheeks. This is a seasonal size. This was for Christmas. Your lip cheeks are this size, so they last you forever. And I'm gonna put Cindy on my lips and cheeks. She's a nice kind of fun summer shade. Cindy, and she's got a great name. So here is Cindy. And they were doing so good, but now we're starting to get out of control. So there's Cindy on the lips, and I'm gonna do a little Cindy on the cheeks. I've lost volume mid-face, so I actually like to put blush on the apple of my cheek and work it up because it kind of restores that volume or gives the illusion of it. If you wanna continue to narrow your face, go on the outer corner of your eye and up, and that is just gonna keep narrowing like your contour does. You see how this side is narrowed and this one is a little more full because I went right on the apple of my cheek. And it's really what you prefer. If you want to narrow, continue to narrow your face, start on that outer corner of your eye and up. And if you want to plump the cheek, go right on the apple and work up. So I'm just gonna put a little here so I don't look crazy. So this is Cindy on my lips and cheeks. We have so many beautiful shades to choose from. We have glosses, semi-glosses, and we have mattes. Mattes are like a satin or a stain, so they stay all day. And the more glossy, you know, that more dewy, youthful glow. Can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So I'm gonna add a little bronzer because I use it all year round. So this is Bella, and I'm only using that 3D foundation brush, putting a little bit of that bronzer right where the sun would kiss you. I always say, look at a picture of you when you got a nice sunburn or a tan, and that's right where you want to put a little bit of Bella bronzer. We have 4 to choose from, but Bella's my favorite, and she kind of works with all skin tones. But just that nice, warm, sun-kissed glow. Our bronzer doesn't have shimmer, and you don't have to worry about that orange color. It's just kind of a nice sun-kissed glow. Okay, I like powder because, I don't know, I think it's just because I was a early 80s baby and that's what I wore in high school. So we have a Vanilla Dust setting powder. It's finely milled and it's packed, and it's called Vanilla Dust, but it's a translucent powder. So it works on all skin colors. And I use my Perfector sponge. This is great when you're starting off with cream for the first time because you can roll this over your finished product. You only use these damp, and it'll pick up any cream that hasn't settled into your skin if you use too much. I also like it for the Vanilla Dust, so I just pick up a little Vanilla Dust, and this powder is so great at blurring fine lines and wrinkles. So I like to put it where my face moves a lot, which I'm a very expressive person. So under my eyes, forehead, around my nose and mouth, and then I'm pretty much done. Now, if you like a more matte look overall, just put this everywhere. but I appreciate the dewiness of Saint. A little bit of youth there. So that's what I got for you. Everything's housed in this cute little palette. I always recommend starting with a palette 12. That's what this is. Even if you're just getting the basics, because if you want to grow your collection at all, like add a lip or cheek or some eyeshadows, all of our eyeshadows are 14 bucks, and it's a magnetic compact, so you only put what you want in there. Grab that palette size 12, get your basics, and then when you grow, you still have all of your Saint in one spot.